Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Quake Pro League. I thought I'd appease you all, and especially you, Dan. As you can see, I've made a bit of a wardrobe change.
You actually have. That's
Yeah.
way too bright. You need to tone it down a bit, I think.
Yeah, is that a bit too much for you?
I'm tripping right now.
We'll deal with it. Deal with that. Because the games are going to be trippy, Dan. They're going to be exciting. They're going to be banging, and we're going back in with another one. We now move over to America, of course, with Effortless taking on GNiK. A classic matchup.
Is it?
Well, somewhat. I feel like it's the type of game, we've seen at least once a stage.
We see all the games once a stage, mate. I'm just going to
Exactly.
settle this here. I wouldn't say it's a classic matchup. It's a matchup of two Americans that have met once before. But they both, as we said before, have a point to prove, I think. I know you and I have shouted about both these players in very positive lights when we've said them before, and there's obviously a number of struggles of areas of their game they want to improve. And I don't think either one of them have made the strides they would want to. I know Effortless has been vocally frustrated with his performances, thinks he should be much higher than he is, and obviously understands why he hasn't got to that stage, but they both are moving now into the World Championships in those relegation spots. So they need to pick up some momentum, as we said at the very start of the show, to show us why they deserve to still be in this tournament.
Well, because that's the scary factor, right? Obviously you're down towards the bottom of the standings. You're in a position where at this point you will have to play for relegation. You will have to sort of fight your way through. But you're going into the last possible tournament, the biggest stage for Quake, the biggest environment. Obviously, it would have been live in the flesh at QuakeCon. So it's the matter of the prestige behind it. If you're going to at least look to have your form looking better going into it, try and get yourself back towards QuakeCon form, right? Then you want to have a big win here today. So I think it's an interesting matchup to pit these two together as the final play. Obviously, as we've said in the past for Effortless, we know he's a player that has had good strengths back towards the earlier stages as well. I felt like he was playing better. It seemed like there was a bit of a lapse. And obviously, he has been really harsh on himself, which is such a shame to see, because I think it's the mental aspect that comes into it. We see his tweets after the games, Dan, and it's not nice. It feels like there's so much improvement that could come through, and it's a shame to see him beating down on himself.
I think I would put both these players under that umbrella of struggling with the mental side of duel. Like, it's incredibly taxing one-on-one environment, and they're both gifted mechanically, as quite a lot of the American scene are, in fact. But you just fall down, as you say, on that. Again, very similar to the discussions we had around Sparta. It's consistency, it's errors in judgment, and then particularly it's that mental side when it feels things are not going their way, they're not getting the rub of the green, then they just then kind of flip a switch, lose focus, and then the game just ends, because as soon as you lose focus at this level, it just falls out of control very, very quickly.
Well, it's so hard to obviously get back in, right? It's just the way things will drop off so quickly. You just get left with nothing to really get back into it from, and it's a shame to see. I'd say if we were looking at what it is though right now in terms of the man-to-man matchup, I feel like there is a little bit of an edge potentially coming through from GNiK in the way he's been playing. I don't know if it's a massive margin. It does feel like they are quite closely grouped together right now, Dan, the quality of play we've seen coming out, but I just feel like there is a little bit more oomph there for GNiK.
I would think so. Like, Effortless is, I think, he even lost positions this stage. I don't think he was 20th coming into the stage. So that's not a good place to be. And as you said, he's vocal on Twitter. He's clearly not happy with a lot of the way he's playing. But setting his sights on GNiK, that's somebody he can beat. I think, for me, the first map's going to be crucial in this set, because mentally, whoever loses that first map, depending on how it plays out, might not recover. If you go into this thinking I should be beating this guy, and then you lose, and if you lose convincingly, that might be just game over from there on out. So a lot of emotions that need to stay in check, and I'm definitely putting a big focus on Blood Covenant.
Well, here we go then. This is obviously the veto we've got for the series ahead. We start off with Blood Covenant, then we go on to Awoken. Looking at Awoken already, by the way, here's the one thing I will say about Effortless. I really love watching him on Athena. I feel like he's actually a sick Athena player. You can see he truly understands how to use that movement mechanic to its absolute finest. We've had some great plays from him in the past, so that could be quite a fun one, just in terms of getting to see how they operate. Obviously putting a Visor against Athena as well, it can have some spicy moments on a map like Awoken, Dan. That could be the star of the series.
I mean, for me, this series is going to be fun, because they're both a little bit rough around the edges, but they're both very gifted, and so that means it opens up for frags. And they've both picked hyper-aggressive lineups and really do unlock the full potential of somebody that is gifted in the mechanical department. So we've got Slash, Athena, and Strong and Pika for Effortless, all of which you can play incredibly fast, incredibly aggressive, hit some amazing shots. Whilst for the picks of GNiK, a bit more stable opening with the Nyx and the Visor, but Nyx as well is a bit flashy. It's definitely a GNiK special. I'm not entirely sold on the Visor pick. I definitely would have preferred something like a Doom, or even whatever it's called. My mind has just gone completely blank, so I'm going to pass over that comment, and then ending up on the Anarchy on Ruins, which is a very good pick for Anarchy, that map, and that'll be a fun one as well. So love seeing the speed. GNiK's gone a little bit safer with his picks, but either way, with 2 light picks in his pool, it's still going to be a fun series.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. Especially like the first 2 games here, I feel like the ones that potentially have the most outrageous factor to it, right? Obviously, GNiK, we know he's good on the Nyx. You've then got him going up against another light champion there where it is going to be fast. It's going to be a little bit more spicy than the norm. Then Awoken, that's the gem in my eyes, purely because I really have always enjoyed watching Effortless on the Athena. I feel like he's really good at it, and it can be fun to see him. If he goes in there and absolutely just gives it his all, just has a bit of fun with it, lets his hair down, that could be a fun one.
I think that's the key. It's being relaxed. It's easy to get stressed in these environments, and that's when you begin to throw it away. So I do hope we see the best of both of these players because they are fun to watch. And it's a very, as we said, emotion-heavy matchup, I think.
Yeah, definitely 2 players, obviously, in terms of domestic matchup as well, they know each other well. We've seen this a couple of times before, 3 other times to be specific, so it will be fun. I'm looking forward to it, Dan. We'll come into it. We switch over. It's always nice, you get your little start with Europe. We dip our toes into North America for a bit. We ease ourselves in towards those bangers that are coming up towards the end of the night.
What's your prediction for this one then, friend?
I think 2-1. But actually in favour of Effortless. I think first 2 maps go his way, and then we see GNiK come back on the end.
Okay, it's a fair enough storyline.
I reckon there's possibility for it. But obviously, it can always go up in the air. You never really know. That's the exciting thing, I'd say, more so about North America, is it's always felt like it's been a little bit more unpredictable.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But as we have an opening here, a bit back and forth, chipping each other with rails, definitely stringing a few shots back to back, getting the early frags is going to be paramount. So I don't expect anything too crazy to come out. As soon as one of them gets the lead, that's when I think it will unlock the true tempo of the game. But we do see Effortless patrolling that mid ground with his speed of the Slash, which he seems to be very adept at. Great flick rail coming out through the teleported. GNiK's in a little bit of trouble here. Might need to pop the Ghost Walk because Effortless is going to continue the tempo with the shotgun. Big shotguns, and GNiK held on way too long with the Ghost Walk.
Yeah, doesn't use it, trying to hold on to it into the last possible second, but that second never came because he was shut down. Effortless, clean transition on the way up the bounce pad.
And again.
Here we go. I'm living for this. This is the sort of pace we need to see.
It is, and something we didn't spend a lot of time talking about at the start, but as a Nyx, I think Slash is such a difficult opponent to come up against because you're so vulnerable on the back foot when you don't have the Ghost Walk up, and GNiK's kind of playing without it at the moment. But as soon as it's up, as soon as it's not up, Slash can then just keep that tempo up, keep the pressure on, so you need to play positioning perfect. We do see GNiK trying to do that so far, just patrolling the mid-ground, skirting across either side of the map, trying to keep out of the melee range, if you will, of Effortless, the close combat. But Effortless is doing a good job so far, not taking any damage. And GNiK pushes in, does use the Ghost Walk finally, and gets out relatively unscathed.
Ooh. And this is obviously the one opportunity as well, where you have that benefactor of being able to quickly get out of there and create space on a champ like Slash. You can breeze away. He was so low, but now he's started to get himself a little bit built back up in terms of the stack. He's in a better position here, and he can just lurk as well, playing for the audio cues as he'll keep himself low, down towards the ground, trying to keep his nose out of trouble. In the meantime, though, when he's not attacking, when he's not going for anything bold, he's giving GNiK full map control. You can see, based off of that, he's just hoovering up all of the major items. Look at the stack difference here now. This is really going to aid him into the next encounter.
Yeah, he is, but the problem is, how do you catch a Slash? And aggressive Ghost Walks is definitely one of the ways. At the minute, he's struggling a little bit, but as you rightly said, just gobbling up the items, as long as he maintains control, doesn't take too much damage. That is step number one in the process of regaining the lead. is in time for this heavy, and Effortless eats quite a lot of damage there. And this is the time now where we should see some aggressive Ghost Walks coming out, is when you think you know where your opponent is, just really try and capitalize upon it, because Effortless at the minute is playing slow, using the audio cues, and then just skirting around to the other side of the map, doing exactly what he needs to do in this bit situation.
Also, you know, very nice use of the tribot there. That was clean on the way up the bounce pad. But I was going to say is the fact that obviously, you know, one of the aspects we haven't really looked at here is the escape potential. Normally you'd look towards GNiK to be able to get out of these fights, but that's really what we've seen coming through here from Effortless. When he gets low, he just retreats. Good use as well of the plasma trail so that he couldn't be chased around the corner as quickly. And now he's re-instigating. Baits out a Ghost Walk, perfect play. He can back off. He doesn't have to commit off the back of this here. Instead, he can loop his way over towards the Mega, try and go for the pickup. Should be able to grab it, but no! GNiK in the last second, Dan, shutting him down with the shotty.
Yeah, it was probably the right choice. I mean, he knew the Ghost Walk wasn't up and wanted to make that time count. Caught him up the bounce pad, but as soon as he went up there, it was just good weapon swap from GNiK to use the shotgun. If it was any other weapon, probably would have got that kill. He's bounced up in the air, and that's an easy frag for Effortless. Caught with the rail up, no Ghost Walk. And this is the problem, as we said at the start. Look at the pressure coming out from the slash as soon as he knows there's no Ghost Walk up. Forces that again. GNiK's in trouble.
Well, here's the chase. The drop down from Effortless. Easy frag to find. That's another one coming through. At this point, he's going to get the heavy off the back of it as well. So we reached the halfway point on the opening map in this duel, and it's gone well for him, Dan. He's been able to at least chain the frags together and keep the momentum in his favor. It just depends if he falls now. He's quite low. He's being chased by GNiK as the shots are coming out. Drops back down to pick up the light at least, and just skirts his way out of there immediately. Mega's also up. He could get this Mega if he spots it.
I've enjoyed the use of the shotgun in this series so far. Playing the light champions, they're both switching to it very early in these engagements, and obviously one big blast will do a huge amount of damage to both of these champions. As GNiK's caught there, does hit back-to-back rails. Can Effortless get away? He's out of available range now. Switching to that shotgun. GNiK's low, but does survive. There's no Ghost Walk up, and GNiK too aggressive.
Oh man, this
Lapsing
is
concentration.
Yeah, not the dream start. Not what you want to be looking for. You know, there's 4 minutes left in the clock. Effortless is just coming out. He's absolutely just serving up slug soup with the shotty over and over again, just punishing him with it. He's been on the grind, quite literally, into this one. It's been working out really nicely for him. What are we seeing in terms of the major item split as well? It's actually relatively close. Difference is, Effortless has got effectively double of the light armors. He's been sure to grab that every time when the rotation's out, and he's still hitting his rockets and the shotty follow-up. GNiK's got to be dead again. He will bait out the Ghost Walk, but can he track him down?
Look at the speed. Like, this is a problem. Unless you're playing nigh on perfectly as in GNiK's in these situations, Effortless can slip up time and time and time again and still has such a huge advantage. And we saw he made a massive mistake getting fragged up the jump pack on the Mega, but just used that speed, got a shotgun and ran at his opponent. He knows the shotgun, the Ghost Walk isn't up, and so just wants to keep pressure on.
7 minute mark, nearly hit at this point. Effortless really leading. It's a good start. Can he follow it through towards the bitter end? Again, Ghost Walk coming out. GNiK in a state of panic there, feeling like maybe he was trapped in an angle he didn't want to be in, but the reposition comes through from Effortless with the LG, tearing him to pieces, effectively ripping him a new one, getting the major item, and then coming in with the shotty. Another shotgun frag here. It's been his primary weapon, effectively, throughout this entire game. 81% accuracy with it, he's always just in their face, giving it 1,000 damage.
There's been only frags with shotguns in this game so far. Frags are coming from a shotgun.
You are actually right, yeah.
That's incredible. And it shows it is actually a big strategy choice, because they're both light champions. It's got a big hit spread on it, and there's a lot of damage from close range, which Effortless is obviously closing the gap with. Ghost Walk comes out, has to go aggressive here as he knows he's running out of time, but he's too late for that heavy, and that will pretty much spell good games here as Effortless takes a very easy victory all in all. But for me, it definitely comes down to the picks. I mean, mean, GNiK's actually done more damage than Effortless. It's just that Effortless opens and carves opportunities so quickly. As soon as there's a frag to be had, Effortless is rushing in, and there's nothing GNiK can do.
Ooh. Effortless coming off the shot, he going towards the rail, trying to play with the range game now. But talking of the range game, both of them at an equal stance. Oh my god, both of the LGs coming through. He holds him in position, puts his forearm on his head, stops him dead in his tracks, and shuts him down. Misses the rail up the bounce pad though, but comes out with the shotgun, trying to get away now because he's low. It won't matter. He'll eventually go down, as the HMG will be able to rip his way through him and pop him down into an early grave. But it's still an 11-3 split. With 60 seconds, you're not getting back into the game. You're not going to keep it competitive here. Effortless has taken this one.
1 minute walk.
Yeah, easy victory.
And this sets up well. If I'm honest, this is the dream start for a player like Effortless. You come out with a big win here on the first map, Dan. You then look towards Awoken as the second, where you're on Athena. It plays to his strengths. It's a good move to make.
100%. I don't think GNiK played bad. I think the score is unflattering because of the picks, but Effortless definitely played around the strengths of Slash extremely well. And we said that speed is going to be his friend, and it definitely was in this matchup so far. Moving into the next game, we've got Athena versus Visor. Definitely have similar problems, nowhere near to the degree that we have in this game, with the Visor going up against Athena. But as you rightly said, if Effortless can continue the momentum, and you're a big fan of him on the Athena, there's no reason why we can't see this dominance continue.
And obviously, you already touched on it in the sense that that Visor pick could be a bit of a downfall. It could leave him potentially in a horrendous position. At least here, we had the clash of styles, right, in the sense that you've got both light champions. You've got both of them being able to play with speed, chase for one another. Ghost Walk to get away, Plasma Trail to try and block, and you can chase each other. He had the momentum. Going into Awoken, although the map's small, that's not really going to help a Visor. That's not going to give you any benefit because you'll be able to get that contact anyway. You might know where the Athena's going, but I don't really think it's going to aid you.
No. Visor's I find is a bit of a weird pick on Awoken. I don't find the information as valuable as it could be on other maps. So it's definitely a comfort pick more than anything. It's not a bad choice. I just think there are definitely stronger choices. As I said, maybe the Doom or an Ice or something like that. Just a lot more utility for the layout of the map and post-combat that often happens. Whereas Athena, yeah, particularly strong. It's strong on every map just because those hooks, those grapples have such utility no matter what, whether it's close combat, whether it's verticality. So I'm looking forward to it. Always love to see Athena. I'm definitely favouring Effortless off the back of that first game, though.
Yeah, no, it does look like that's the way it's going to go. You know, I was thinking first two should probably be victories for Effortless. He wins the first, looked really sick in the way he was playing it as well. It was cool to see the smart adjustment being made to prioritise the shotgun into a lot of those firefights as well. Light on light crime, you might as well, right? It's going to work out.
Yeah, and he was choosing his situations wisely, maximising the power of the slash speed. All aspects of his aim looked pretty strong, if I'm honest. Like I said, but so did GNiK. GNiK's aim was on par. He was doing more damage than Effortless. He just had no stack to work with and was just getting picked apart as soon as Ghostwall wasn't up. So it wasn't as if GNiK was playing badly. He just got outdrafted.
Well, we'll see if that'll be the same case here then, as we move on to the second map in the series. Awoken is coming up next. Obviously, you've got the Visor there for GNiK and then the Athena for Effortless. It's a classic pick. It's something that he's shown in the past multiple times that he is damn good with. We had the real big matchup, obviously, as well. The last time we get to see it in bracket play down when he got beaten out and we saw him on the Athena where it looked like he threw away the game. So let's put that in the back of the minds, forget about that one and hope that he'll come out strong with another good result here and just win the series. Put it to bed with a 2-0 at least.
It'd be nice for him, for sure. He deserves something. I think he's played better than his position would reflect, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I know there are reasons for that, but going into the finals, he needs some G'ing up.
Needs to get gassed up by the boys. get G'd up, get ready for war, get ready for action, Dan. He's got to come out swinging. But right now, he's not going to be swinging. He's going to be perched on a ledge, ready to try and act like a human sledgehammer to shut his way down against GNiK, but it's not looking good. Although the movement, oh, it would have been sick. It would have been so sick.
This one. I was going to say he needs to take a step back on the way he was playing in the first game. It's a bit easy to get carried away with how easy that first map would have felt, and reflect on the fact that a large part of that was down to having Slash against the Next, where now he's coming up against a Visor who generally have more stacks than him, who is much stronger in combat. He does have the piercing sight, so you need to be more reserved to the way in which you play the game, and not get dragged into that mentality of you're gonna like, face roll this once again.
Okay, well, instantly back in 1-1. Instant pick up from either side as well in terms of the major items. Using the rocket like a shotgun, peeks with the shotty, and it's not going to work out as well this time as GNiK will leave him in a watery grave with some static electricity all around as he gets the second frag back in and is able to come through at least. Slowing down the pace of the game here, not letting Effortless really get himself into a large lead on the light champion. Keep him on the back foot so it's harder for him to excel. And Effortless is really trying to play a slower game as well, playing off the audio cues, playing for position and looking to punish with the rockets. Relatively close in terms of overall stack. Mega is up and the pre-fire comes through. Great predictive rocket and snatches the Mega to boot.
It was nice, but I'm not entirely sure why GNiK made that maneuver. It was just incredibly greedy to try and take both major items. Yes, Effortless was low, but you're always going to be vulnerable making that type of hyper-aggressive play. So Effortless does capitalize upon it, as you say, with the rocket. Follow-up as well, on no heavy armor. Now he's in a good position to take this fight. Yes, GNiK's got a stack, but Effortless has position. Just needs to buy some time for the Mega to come up. Will he do it? Yes, he will, very easily as well.
And this is good. This is the sort of start you'd want to see coming out from Effortless. Especially when it's just able to chain the kills together like that, back towards the banana. Peeling back GNiK at that point. Coming through with the LG as well, ready for a little bit more, but he gets turned on. GNiK dropping the tech leads, this will get himself the Mega. Actually, no, it's just only just spawned in. He's instigated off the fight. Jumping towards middle. He'll go for the opening push, and he's going to capitalize. If he gets the kill here, that could actually be both of the major items. Issue is, it's if he gets the kill. He will. Finds the frag on the follow-up there with the nails. He can double back and get both major items. Brilliantly played on that one.
GNiK needs to make every one of these frags count, because Effortless is obviously very, very weak off the spawn. So you want to keep that pressure and tempo high. You know what Effortless wants. He needs the items. He needs the weapons. So try and chase him down every single time. Oh, what? GNiK's aim has been absolutely incredible this series so far.
Hey, that's so sick. That was really nicely done. With the rotation coming in. Mum, get the camera. GNiK's giving it. Rocket's coming by. Trying to switch back to the Rockets himself, though, as he's taken a heavy hit. He's down to 41 stack. He's got to backpedal. We've got to grab whatever he can to stay alive and try and salvage this one. And he nearly does, but it's tied up. Effortless coming in like a human rocket. He'll smash his way into him, impact and implode, and put it back 6-6, Dan.
Oh, interesting. Effortless taking around a bit too long. He will be going down here. Oh. And it's been really the story of this series for both these players. That they do a good job. They hit some amazing shots to take control, take a lead, get a position. But there's just these moments of madness where they take these irrational decisions and unnecessary pushes that have such a low risk, such a high risk, low reward setup that it doesn't make much sense.
It's just a fight. It genuinely just feels like this duel has effectively just been a scrap. They just want to make this bout something to remember, right? We're just seeing like fast, high-octane plays. I feel like in terms of the standings as well, they know there's no chance of being able to adjust themselves out of that relegation zone. So it feels like they've gone into it and just want to give themselves a good game.
Yeah, it's a completely valid point. But at the same time, nothing worse, as we said, going into the finals off the back of the 3-0 loss.
Yeah. That's not what you want.
Just rocket jumping around the map. I think you picked the wrong champion for that, my friend.
Yeah, all things considered, he's effectively trying to use the visor like a strog, right? Like with the way he's playing with it, he's just sliding around angles, looking for fights every time. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's definitely at least giving him the reads whenever we get the piercing sight coming up like now, so we can telegraph the location and get a good information play in to see what he can do. He does have the lead. 2 frags ahead as well. We're coming up close towards the 6-minute mark, and he could nearly get himself towards 9. He's hitting these shots. He's slowing down Effortless's overall stack with the constant chip damage that's coming out from the rail.
Nice rocket, and Effortless has definitely made a conscious effort to stall the tempo. He's trying to play this range game. Every time GNiK moves into an angle, a sight, Effortless will actively reposition to try and avoid a confrontation. He just needs to build a stack, and he realizes that. But GNiK's done a good job of hitting the crucial rail to try and manage that stack somewhat, but this is the first time Effortless has got enough of a stack to take a fight, and GNiK is out of time and out of life.
And Effortless, he might have arrived just in time to get this game back in his basket and try and take it towards the checkout, as he wants to really cut the prices here on GNiK, slashing him in half. It's going to be a fire sale on that one to bring it back 8-8 as we're rapidly approaching the 7-minute mark. The game is tied once again. Heavy's up. They're both close towards it, but Effortless can grab it. Baits in GNiK as well. Reveals himself at the right time. Oh, he wanted to slide in there with a shotty off the back of the grapple to finish him, but GNiK, he'll do that for you. He'll take himself down, dropping the whoops.
Was a little bit of whoops, and Effortless is very late for this mega, but has the weaponry to take a fight. Does a lot of damage to GNiK, and GNiK doesn't care. He wants to push. And I think you're right. These guys just want to battle. They want to have some fun.
Ooh, oh man, the Chelsea smile there from Effortless, just straight onto the face of GNiK. This is rough, Dan. Now he's actually 2 frags ahead as well off the back of the suicide. It sets him up, and that is a very nice transition. Bounces him up into the air like a human trampoline, and then smashes him back down to earth with the sheer force of gravity coming from the rail. Oh, look at the transitions as well. Effortless. He must have a new mouse mat, Dan. This man is looking smooth.
He is indeed, as he is the one making the plays at the moment. Very, very nice, calm, calculated. Some might say effortless.
At least minimal effort. Oh, no.
And it's all crumbling for GNiK now. Nice one comes out, but it's not a nice one really for GNiK, as he is now in a 6-frag deficit with only 2 minutes to make it count. And Effortless is swinging around like George of the Jungle at the moment. Looks all too easy out here in Awoken.
Oh, mate. Yeah, he really is on the Tarzan hype tonight. Like, that's also why I do just enjoy watching Effortless play on the Athena, to be fair. You can see he's put the time in terms of learning all the smaller nuances of how to use that movement mechanic to its absolute finest, and it's sick. He's really effective with on any map, but you can just see some of the cooler little plays that you can make with it here on a map like Awoken.
One-minute warning.
When you got, what, 60 seconds left? It's a 15-7. GNiK down by nearly double the frags. It's not looking good, as the push will be coming a back round towards Banana. Gets him low, shotty to finish. Double taps coming through. Straight zombie landing. And that's the way it will go down. Gets the mega again. At this point, you know, it is over. It's just how many nails is he going to put in the coffin before he lets him finally rest?
Yeah, I think as you said, like, you can tell this is a game where they're just trying to enjoy themselves a little bit. There's nothing particularly big to come out of winning or losing, apart from that confidence boost, and GNiK has lost all focus really after Effortless took control 6 or 7 minutes in. That's hit some nice shots along the way, which will feel good, but obviously losing by 11 frags will not feel particularly good, and all things considered, Effortless has just played better.
Yeah, obviously as well, it was a comeback. You know, there was a point where there was the lead taken for GNiK. He got himself into a good position. He was starting to look like he had found the correct way to play it going forward. Then, no, Effortless just woke up. And you can see by the dominance there in terms of the major items as well. Look at the difference. Nearly 10 more heavies were taken. It was really forcing GNiK to just play effectively off the back of scavenging lights for the most part.
Yeah, there was that period of time for 2 or 3 minutes where it was a bit chaotic, and then Effortless definitely attempted to slow the tempo down. GNiK was playing decently at that time.
Yeah.
There was a few quite random situations where GNiK just got very greedy, tried to take both items and then maybe missed time one, turned up late to the engagement, and it kind of snowballed out of control from there on in. Really, GNiK didn't do what Effortless did. He didn't try to play defensive or retreat somewhat and play positionally. He just wanted to go on the aggressive and force the issue, maybe overestimating how much of a stack advantage he had and things like that. As much as there were some flashy shots in there, and I said his aim win was good, the stats don't reflect that. So Effortless definitely looking the much stronger player, all things considered, at the moment.
Yeah, well, you know, he's taken the 2-0. I said maybe the third map would be where GNiK's able to come through. It is going to be Ruins of Sarnath, and it's going to be a hell of a speedy game. It's looking like a Fast and Furious movie at this point, Dan, in terms of the champion picks we've gone for.
It is. Anarchy versus Strog. It's a good map for both of them. I think Strog, obviously, with the stack advantage. Anarchy still got a lot in his locker. You always need to obviously consider that injection. It is a very powerful tool, and some people have different ways of using it, but you have to always reflect on the fact that if you've never even seen it in combat, you don't know if your opponent's used it or not. So it's quite difficult to fully understand your stack, your opponent's stack coming up against Anarchy at all times. I am a favour of Strog. I think the champion is exceptional. So definitely leaning towards Effortless in the way it's been playing so far. He's looking smooth. So it'll be good to see them on an even playing field somewhat now with the speed advantage. Stacks, yeah, there's a little bit here and there. So it'll be good to see how they play this one.
Yeah, probably the most balance in terms of the champion picks we've seen now throughout the series. This is like the level playing field for it in terms of the matchup. Maybe other than what we had back at the start with the obviously the Slash going up against the Knicks, right? But we'll see. We'll see how it's going to go. If it'll be the full 3-0 or if there's room at least for GNiK to deny all of the points going the way of Effortless and at least try and quell his momentum a little bit before Quake Con as the pushes are coming out early on. A very heavy fight. Gauntlet! No! Oh no, you lunatic! This is the way it ends with the suicide!
I don't know, mission accomplished, really.
Oh. I mean, yeah, but I don't know, Dad. What a nightmare.
Use the injection, you madman!
Oh, what is going on? This series has just, you know, if you imagine there was a box of any type of cohesion and normal Quake, that box has been thrown out of the window like a bag of old clothes.
Still hasn't used the injection.
Doesn't need to, mate. Doesn't want it.
Had 3 frags and he still hasn't used the injection.
You know, obviously it's crazy as well because I feel like we've seen more of that shift towards the injection just being popped literally whenever it's off cooldown as well.
He could have used it twice by now.
Well, yeah. Oh.
And it feels to me already that GNiK has somewhat lost his head, which is not a good situation to be in 1 minute into your final game.
Yeah, not the dream, you know. You've really got to give your head a wobble, try to get back into the game a little bit, get it back on. If you've lost it, locate your box, pop it back on top.
I mean, that's the theory, right?
You'd imagine so. I feel like it'll just reconnect. It'll know. Oh,
nice.
That's a nice shot, though.
Holding
that's
the
clean.
corridor with the shotgun. Obviously, we saw that as a very big tact on the first game of the series against another light champion, and it's definitely something Effortless has perfected so far. Holding that choke point as well is more effective than a rocket. Yes, you don't get splash damage, but yes, you don't damage yourself. Running in, all two. It's just too easy for Effortless.
This
GNiK
is like genuinely looking way more like vintage Effortless in the sense of where he used to play with so much confidence into these fights, and we're seeing that again here, right? He's just running in, shotguns out, rails out, rockets out. No matter what you've got, he is just going to take you to the cleaners.
Yep, and he's playing the items perfectly so far, 4 and 4 of each to GNiK's 1-on-1, and he's just going up and playing that choke point in the corridor by Mega, waiting for GNiK to run around, and we can see Effortless now just camping out by the light. He knows that's what his opponent needs. He knows it's a trap, and here he comes. Going to run straight into it like a spider and a fly into his web. Effortless makes it count and pushes his opponent into the minuses. All that's got to sting.
Yeah, this is not good whatsoever. GNiK trying to fight back with a tri-bolt shot after shot, at least gets him low, puts him close towards death, but it won't be the harbinger to take him down. Effortless survives, makes a bold move in towards picking up the heavy as well. He will get it and slam it on his chest, but it's not going to help as he'll go into cardiac arrest, being finished off by GNiK, and he brings himself back to a little Nutri bomb at the minute, back to 0.
I was about to cry again because he was refusing to use that injection as he does pop it for the second time. Saying that we haven't seen a Pika come out. Oh, speak of the devil, perfect timing.
Oh, dude. GNiK just on the hunt, firing out the shots, looking for something, just hoping to maybe get a little kill coming into the game here with the rail, but Effortless isn't giving him a chance. And if he wants to, he could effectively play this style for quite some time now. You've already got 7 frags. The likelihood of being 100%. Caught up with, that's marginal, right? You can just run.
100%. Although GNiK does now have a semblance of control. He runs into Effortless through the choke point. Good follow-up, though, from GNiK to bounce his opponent into the rail combo. And that is the start of a comeback somewhat. Injection doesn't be needs, but just...
Oh, man. Alright, well, at least it's a little bit damage.
Left on 28 as that shotgun blasted huge amounts.
It is rough. Every one of these engagements he's getting into. Like, at least now we're starting to get some frags back, but obviously he's being left low, so Effortless will just swoop in. Effortless! Oh, look at him go! He's a human cannonball. Slam dunks against him, detonates him once again. 8-2 now as we're coming up towards the 5-minute mark. You know what? You know, forget about this being a 2-1. I think this is the full 3-0.
100%. I mean, as much as GNiK is being sloppy in his approach, not calculating his advances, just running through choke points without checking them out, Effortless is playing around that, and he's being clinical as well. So it is a difficult situation for GNiK when Effortless is hitting as hard as he is. So that was really nicely timed.
Ooh, adjustment around there with the railgun, hits the shot and actually gets the follow-up. Nicely executed from Effortless. Feels like he's just so light into his approach into these. It's like a ballerina, but with a railgun.
And GNiK is very late. Not sure why he was hoping to commit for that.
I'm just not interested really in the way he's playing it as well. At this point, you know, 10-2. Ooh, tri-bolt coming in. A lot of damage. That actually should set him up for the frag, and there he finds it. The rail, the upshot will come in from underneath, gets the angle, lands the hurty-verty, and punishes him.
10-3. 4 minutes to go. He knows his opponent's there. But Effortless has already long taken it. Hits a shotgun, not enough. Nice, another injection comes out. I like that. Off the spawn though. Speed of the Strog, it's a power.
Strog and Pika. Really just Strog and punishing at this point. Frag after frag coming out as the gunishment is just gushing all over the server. You've got 12-4 already. It's really not looking good here, and it's quite worrying. Gunishment, mate, yeah.
Might have to use that.
You know. I've got another one for you later. If we see a BJ as well, I've got quite a tasty one.
Alright.
Yeah. We'll wait and see how it goes.
GNiK setting up for heavy, but he's very early and he's going to get absolutely pounced on by Effortless, who does hit his own face with a rocket though, so that will stall those advances. He can delay him as well. And it does some some damage, not a lot, but enough to weaken GNiK somewhat.
Ooh, the drop down. Misses with the rocket, but actually is able to readjust and get the shot back off to do a little bit more damage. GNiK survives after finding the frag onto Effortless, and at this point, it is just a matter of how close can he get the scoreline? What can he do for the consolation frags, and where can he actually put this game towards the end? Tell you what, one step closer. Another frag coming through. Puts himself halfway away, but with only 2 minutes. The chance that he's going to be able to slay his way towards the top is effectively impossible. It is literally just a matter of where's this going to end once the dust settles. Although he's not content with just making a small attempt, Dan. He's making a real mountain out of this molehill. 7-12 now, shot after shot. He's hitting everything.
He is, and Effortless is already playing incredibly slow, just sitting in that side room. But GNiK not realizing that. Probably realize somewhat now where his opponent is, because everything up on the map. So, a little bit confused for GNiK, and Effortless still hasn't moved. Sure, he must know now. Here he goes. Effortless playing this like it is the QuakeCon finals. And 4 frags to go. He's just spawning and not moving once again. He's got the shotgun there. This is why it's such a difficult ask, because if GNiK doesn't play this perfectly, he will take lots of damage. Effortless doesn't want to move. I think GNiK will have guessed once again that something is up, so we'll have to go back around the map and check all the spawn points.
Effortless. Can you get another frag here? Is GNiK going to get it slightly closer towards the end? What's the final resting place going to be when it gets to the end of this one? Because at this point, you're 12-8. You've got 30 seconds left to go. It's the last map in the series. Effortless is content with the idea that he's 3-0'd. He's just been playing the run and evade game the whole time. He's been a master of avoiding these encounters now in the last few seconds. And it doesn't seem like GNiK's going to get much more to benefit him. At least maybe another frag. But look how low he is. And the shotgun comes out. The starting shotty of all weapons as well. GG is called. 13-8 is the final scoreline, and it will be the full 3-0 for Effortless tonight, Dan.
Yeah, somewhat surprising. I would have expected a 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
Did feel that Effortless was just much more on the ball when it came to strategy and mechanical skill. I really enjoyed the strategical choice of using the super shotgun. I know it's obviously quite an obvious thing, but we don't see it an awful lot from a lot of players in Duel, and particularly on Blood Covenant. It was every single frag from Effortless. And GNiK gave him his favorite picks, and Effortless made him pay for that.
Yeah, no, it does feel like there was at least a percentage that can be attributed to him kind of winning out on the veto a little bit there. It just felt like the champion picks gave him a slight edge, and then obviously coming into it, he was just willing to have a scrap. Confidence levels through the roof. He peaked everything, he pushed everything, and he made it work.
Yeah, no, I was really impressed. Like, I'm definitely a fan of watching Effortless. He's a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
We just have these series of madness sometimes where he somewhat tilts, whatever it is, but not today. He looked like he was just having fun. And when he's having fun and he's relaxed, that's when we see the best of him.
It was, and we saw the best of him tonight. Lovely to see. The 3-0 victory there from Effortless, locking it down, beating GNiK in that bout. But that doesn't mean the show is over. We're only just beginning here. Of course, this was our second series of the night. We'll be going into the third when we come back, and that will be Xenaku taking on Dewey. Keep it locked for that one.